So, what happens when a country's most popular political figure is in prison? Well, silence from the authorities isn't just silence, it becomes a vacuum. And in that vacuum, rumors don't just spread, they explode. That is exactly what's been happening in Pakistan with the former Prime Minister Imran Khan. Okay, let's get into it and try to separate what's fact from what's fiction.
It all kicks off with one single explosive claim, one that started tearing across social media and certain foreign news outlets and just created this absolute storm of speculation. And the question on everyone's mind was this, and it was as stark as it was terrifying for his supporters. Has Imran Khan been killed in prison? This wasn't some fringe theory. This was a widespread rumor that was gaining serious traction, hour by hour, and it was all fueled by a complete lack of access to him.
Now, you gotta understand where this was all coming from. We're talking about totally unverified reports, mostly from accounts outside of Pakistan, just bouncing around social media. But here's the thing. In an environment where there's already deep distrust, those whispers, they quickly became a roar of public anxiety, to the point where supporters were gathering outside the jail demanding to know what was going on.
Okay, so as the panic started to really grow, the government was pretty much forced to respond. And this brings us to the official side of the story, which on the surface is clear, direct, and really aims to put all this speculation to bed. So the crucial takeaway is this. According to both the jail administration and Pakistan's defense minister, Imran Khan is alive. The official line is that he's fully healthy and that all these rumors are completely baseless. So case closed, right? Well, not so fast. Because the real story here, the one you really need to understand, is why these rumors were so believable to so many people in the first place. And that, right there, leads us straight to the heart of the issue, a near-total information blackout surrounding Imran Khan that has been building up for years. And look, this didn't just happen overnight. This timeline lays it out perfectly. It has been a systematic process. It starts with a ban on airing his speeches. Then, the restrictions get even tighter after his arrest. It gets to the point where a major news channel is literally blurring his photo on screen during a live broadcast. And by the 2024 election, they shut down mobile phone services across the entire country. It's a clear strategy of just erasing him from the public eye. And if you want to know what that feels like on the ground, just read this quote from Hamid Mir, one of Pakistan's most well-known journalists. He says, "I literally cannot say Imran Khan's name on Pakistani TV." I mean, think about that. It's not just about getting bad press. It's being forbidden from even saying his name. When you silence journalists like that, an information vacuum isn't just possible, it's guaranteed. So to try and get around this blackout, Khan's party, PTI, turned to a pretty fascinating and modern solution. They took a text that he had written from his jail cell, got it approved by his lawyers, and then they used artificial intelligence to generate his voice, creating an audio message. They broadcast this during a virtual rally, a truly 21st century answer to a classic authoritarian problem. Now, this information vacuum has created a space for two completely opposite stories about his life in prison to just emerge. And it creates this unbelievable contrast between what his family is saying and what the government is claiming. I mean, just look at this. On one side, you've got Khan's family and his party claiming he's being held in inhumane conditions. We're talking solitary confinement, being denied family visits for over a month, and his sisters even alleged they were assaulted by police. But then, on the other side, the defense minister is painting a picture of luxury, claiming Khan gets food from a five-star hotel menu and has a TV and exercise machines. I mean, come on, these two stories cannot both be true. And this huge contradiction, it feeds into a national anxiety that isn't just about Imran Khan. It's something that's rooted in a long and pretty troubled history. Which brings us back to the essential question, right? Why would people be so quick to believe the absolute worst-case scenario, even when officials are flat out denying it? Well, the answer really lies in the system itself. And this isn't just a vibe or a feeling people have. It is backed up by some pretty serious data. An independent report, the Global Torture Index, actually classifies Pakistan as a high-risk country for torture and ill treatment, especially inside law enforcement and detention facilities. This kind of external validation really puts the public's fears into context. And the numbers themselves, whoa, they paint a grim picture. Prisons are operating at over 150% capacity. And get this, nearly 3/4 of the entire prison population are just awaiting trial. They haven't even been convicted. This points to a system that is under an insane amount of strain, the kind of environment where neglect and abuse can really thrive.
And if you want to talk about high stakes, look at this number. That is how many people are currently on death row in Pakistan. It is one of the largest death row populations on the entire planet. In a justice system where the ultimate penalty is so often on the table, fears about the fate of any prisoner, let alone a famous political one, are pretty understandable. And this isn't abstract. There is a powerful, dark, historical precedent here. A former Prime Minister, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, was executed in jail back in 1979, and it was a trial that Pakistan's own Supreme Court later admitted was unfair. Then you add to that the very real assassination attempt on Imran Khan himself in 2022, and you can start to see why the public's imagination might run to the darkest possible conclusion. So where does all this leave us? You've got official denials clashing with a history of fear, a media blackout, and two wildly different stories about his condition. We can't tell you what the absolute truth is inside Adiala Jail, but what this does show us is that when the flow of information is deliberately choked off, the truth always becomes the first casualty.